Hey, EO Alive, thanks for joining us today for this CHD MAT program update with Jamie Rodiguero. I'm glad you're here with me, Jamie. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you for asking, Brent. I so appreciate the opportunity to come back and talk.
Well, good. It's a beautiful day out there, and we were looking at the weather. I wish we were out there, but we're kind of talking about a serious topic, and our little local town has been inundated with some opioid type overdoses. Why don't, for people that might not be aware, briefly kind of give us an update on what's been happening here locally?
So locally, as some may or may not know, as you're saying, there has been overdoses in the community, sadly. There has been a press release that CHD released, as well as, I believe we brought it up actually at EO Alive, where we were talking about counterfeit pills being in the community and laced with things like fentanyl and the dangers of that and the potential for just even a scant amount causing an overdose that can result in death.
And it was, so a couple of weeks ago, we had a panel, and there were 4 of us or 5 of us that talked about this, and it was interesting to me that, so these are drugs that are not bought through the pharmacy. So these are illegal drugs that, people are getting because they're addicted or so on and so forth, and they're trying to deal with whatever habit they have. And part of the MAT program, or the whole part of the MAT program, is called medication assisted treatment, and it is for the purpose of helping folks that are in a jam with opioid drugs, whether that be heroin or over-the-counter medications that they have become addicted to get into some kind of a program and find a life path that gets them away from that addiction lifestyle. And then in the middle of this conversation, then this happens, where these drugs illegally are coming into the community, and some of those folks have gotten a hold of those drugs, and even to the amount of fentanyl we're talking about is a very small amount. I mean, it was 2 grains of sugar or salt, if I'm remembering right, in a pill is enough to overdose you. It's enough to take your life.
Yes, it is. And a lot of misconceptions out there are, I can try it once. One time
Right.
won't do anything. And the reality is one time can kill you.
Right. And after that meeting that we talked, after that session on EO Live, I learned that one of those people that have died is a guy I know, one of my friends, in his early 50s, had so much life to live. I happen to know that he had injured his back and had a lot of back issues and so on and so forth. And again, I'm surmising, part of that, he's trying to get away from that pain, and he's gone now, and so what a horrible thing. So, and it was, and not ironic, it's we had talked about how that some people, you might not be connected, and I said, I don't know of anyone who is a drug user in that manner, someone who's been burdened by that. And there it is, it's close to home. And that's exactly how it happens. So, well, wow. So you guys have, we've talked a lot about Narcan. I don't know, again, just briefly explain what is the purpose of Narcan and how that fits into this.
So Narcan is a life-saving medication that can be given in the case of somebody with an overdose. So what's going to happen if somebody, for example, looks like they've had an overdose, which we've reviewed the signs and symptoms of what that could look like. You can take out your Narcan and give them the Narcan through the nose. We have a little how-to slip as well of how to do that. And that's going to basically put them into a withdrawal state, which is going to get that coming out, for the lack of professional term. And you're going to want to call 911 immediately, because somebody can actually go back into overdose. It could take several doses of Narcan to help somebody. So that's something we want to make sure that we're providing that information, that you still want to call 911.
So right now, Narcan is the fire extinguisher in this particular situation. I mean, that there might not be a lot of things that we can do as persons or a society to curb whatever habit someone might have. But the thing that we can do is make it so that people don't die. And so the bottom line is that this is an opportunity. These Narcan kits, you're trying to distribute those so then people can have access to them. So talk a little bit about an event that's coming up that you guys are planning on doing with this.
Well, I can't stop smiling, as you can tell, because I'm extremely excited about this opportunity. So CHD is going to be doing a Narcan giveaway event. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. You literally get to come through to CHD, and it's going to be in the parking lot, and it's going to be completely COVID compliant. So it's set up to do a drive-through where you come through, you get your Narcan kit. We're doing free T-shirts. Who doesn't love a free T-shirt?
Right.
And, information as we can give that to you. And if you have questions, we're more than happy to answer those at that time as well.
So, and that event is going to be June 11th from 2 to 6. And it's in the parking lot of CHD. Again, there are distribution points for the Narcan kits in the area. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. And there's essentially, I don't know, again, almost like a fire extinguisher kit where people can freely go pick those up. But this is a very active way of distributing Narcan kits into the community. Because the bottom line is that if you came across someone who was in the midst of an overdose, and I had someone describe to me, the process that they went through to distribute, to give a Narcan dose. And he said literally the person looked like they were dead. And, after them going through this process, they were alive. So it is a very radical, it's not too late. It's not like you can look at someone and go, oh, wow, it's too late to give them some kind of Narcan. But it has to be accessible. You have to have it. And so then this is an opportunity for people to pick them up and, I don't know, put it in their purse or carry it with them or whatever the case might be.
Yes, it's a great opportunity to do that. You can come and see the staff as well. You can put a face to the name. We're more than happy to give you information while you're there. If you have questions or concerns, our staff are, as seen through EO Alive, we're very open to talking. We would love to have conversations as well.
And the email address is on the screen. They can also they can also email you and get information about this event. But I think that part of this is it's anonymous too. I would imagine. There's an element of this that if you are a drug user, if you are a user and you worry about, man, am I going to get the wrong thing and I'm going to overdose? This wouldn't be a bad thing to have in your backpack. This wouldn't be a bad thing to have with you.
I carry Narcan as well. So yes. A lot of us do carry Narcan, and we encourage that. I believe one of the recovery mentors did mention, however, do not leave it in your car.
Yeah, because it's heat sensitive.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and Antlers Coffee is doing something to help. Talk about that, and then also what other businesses can do.
Yes, we love our community partners. Antlers has been gracious and worked with us to bring awareness, if you will, more to the spotlight for Union County. They're actually working with us and putting stickers out that are our Hope line, which is 541-562-HOPE. So that way that people who need a direct line, they can call that and outreach us, and you'll get a hold of somebody right then when you call. So they're working with us to do that for the month of May. So we're so excited that they're able to do that. And we really want to extend an opportunity for any businesses community partners to work with CHD. And if they're willing to do that, it could be through stickers, it could be through other platforms. We love working with community partners, and we all want to keep the community safe, and we want to work together to bring awareness as well.
So part of this is just opening up the information and saying, yeah, these are the fire extinguisher of becoming OD'd or overdosing on some of these medications, and this could save a life. And part of it is just getting the word out that, hey, this is something. I mean, I haven't made arrangement, but we should have a kit, and we should have it here in the office somewhere. And because who knows, maybe someone in the grocery store, or we just don't know when that situation might arise. So.
Exactly. I know when I was first on here, we talked a lot about harm reduction. I love the fire extinguisher comparison. That works fantastic. I mean, really, it is an ability to help somebody who's struggling. And in my thoughts, the more we can do as a community for that, the better. So whether that be, if we could do, we also have Nalox boxes, which you kind of talked about earlier, where you can go and pick up your own Narcan. And that is something also that if community partners are open to, we would love to put those out in the community more as well. That's
awesome. All right. Now, we've done a number of sessions before where we've talked about the MAT program. And for those folks that might be interested in that or have more understanding of that, would encourage you to view those. And then also 2 weeks from now, we're going to have a conversation with Dale, the nurse practitioner who operates. Is that? And so tell us just a little bit about that conversation.
So Dale is one of our psychiatric nurse practitioners. She's going to come on and do an education session, if you will, about Suboxone and about how that works within the system, and more on the medication side where I don't dive as deep into. She's going to give you all that information and that insight. So if you have the medical questions, she's going to be a great asset to listen to.
Excellent. All righty. Well, again, so before we quit, let's talk about the event itself, and tell us about what's happening and when that's happening again.
So it is a free Narcan giveaway event, COVID compliant, drive-through setup at CHD's parking lot. It's June 11th, 2 to 6 p.m. Come and talk with us as you're driving through to get your Narcan if you have questions or concerns. Like I said, free t-shirts, and who doesn't love a free t-shirt? So we really want to meet people. We really want to make sure that people have the opportunity to have these Narcan kits. They're extremely beneficial. We want to help keep the community safe.
All right. Excellent. So June the 11th. And thanks so much for joining us today, Jamie. And thank you, Eastern Oregon. We'll see you soon.